We've been talking about trustee sales on the courthouse steps, and despite all of the negatives that Elsa and I have talked about and the things to be concerned about and the homework to be done, people make a lot of money doing this. I mean, millions of dollars doing just this.
Oh yes, there are people, if you go to these sales, you'll see hundreds of people, and they're all in there trying to buy properties and they wouldn't be doing it if they couldn't make money, right?
Exactly.
So,
I'm struck
yes.
by the fact that, my business partner, Dean Williams, his brother began like this, literally, in, I think, Georgia,
Yes.
standing on the courthouse steps, making the right kind of deals, fixing the places up, turning around and selling them, and literally making a fortune. And it sounded like tough work, but he was a smart guy, is a smart guy, and he got it done.
Yes, absolutely. From the very largest investors, the big hedge funds and REITs, down to the individual buyer who buys and sells or buys and rents. All kinds of people are buying at the courthouse steps and making a lot of money doing it.
And it's funny because I talked to about, I would say 20 individual investors. I'd call them mid-size, maybe 100
Yes.
homes. And they'll say, well, I buy on the courthouse steps because I have a radius around where I live, how far I want to drive to collect rent, maintain the homes, etc. And then I pick the courthouse that's near
Yes.
there, and I do my homework, and I put my portfolio together. And some of these guys then end up saying, well, I have 100, 200 homes now. I'm just going to trade the whole portfolio at auction, get my money, and start again. So
Exactly.
it's a business.
It is a
Huge
business. It's a great business model, and they know they've got their margins right. They keep their operating costs. They know what their cap rate is going to be. So at the end of the day, they know the money they're going to end up with, and especially in an appreciating market. So right now, markets are starting to appreciate. It's a great time to buy real estate.
It is, and I've talked to some of there are a lot of guys. Of course, tends to be a guy's game.
Yes.
And a lot of guys, and they'll say, well, I say, who's your staff? And they'll say, well, my wife and my kids. And I said, well, how's that working out? Well, in the beginning, everybody loves it. It's very exciting. Buy a few houses, fix it up. They get up to about 20 houses. Well, the wife is like, I'm checking out. And the teenage boy says, I'd rather live in Bangladesh. I'm not going to do this anymore. But the investor, he's got the fever, and he goes on and he finds helpers and he builds more and more houses and then portfolios, and it all starts on that courthouse steps.
It's a full-time business for so many people. This is what they do full-time.
Wow.
And so this is how they make their living, and this is how they make their retirement. So really, it is a great business opportunity if you know what you're doing.
Such an entrepreneurial spirit.
Yes.
So now if I'm trying to find out where these houses are, because I never really noticed, like where were they listed? Are they just intermingled in other
Well,
advertising?
there are a few places you can find them. Of course, you can go to the courthouse, and they'll have filing documents. You can look those up. You can look in legal journals, legal liners, and of course, you can come to www.williamsauction.com, and we have a list of the properties we're selling as well. So.
Oh, that was a beautiful plug. You're a true saleswoman. Did you get that? You can go to williamsauction.com.
.com. Yes.
All right.
And we'll have our properties we're selling at foreclosure auction.
All right, we're going to have some tips for the first-time investor in just a moment on Pam McKissick Without Reserve.
If it were me, I'd go to the property, I'd drive by it, I'd look at it, or talk to others that know what they're doing. I think that's very helpful.